Hello everyone, it's the William Red Fox, and it has been 2 years since I actually released the first video on this channel. Now, honestly, I am very surprised that the channel has made it this far. You see, I actually stopped for about a 6 to 8 month period where I made no videos whatsoever, so I definitely thought the channel was coming to its end, and I just needed a break. However, seeing towards the end of when I started doing the videos again, I could see that the channel was actually doing pretty good on its own, and there was a lot of people who actually enjoyed it. Because of that, I actually continued making videos, and I'm glad that I did, because everything that I do with this channel actually improves and gets better every single time, and I can't wait to see where this goes. It definitely was a struggle at the beginning, I won't lie. It was very difficult actually staying motivated and just seeing low numbers come through every single time, and that's to be expected. Now I know a few tricks like consistency and everything else to go with the editing side that I can actually do to actually better my videos, and I'm still learning now. Not only that, you can see in the background I'm actually showing videos of builds that I've done over the years, and they have changed quite drastically, and just being able to see that over a time period is actually quite amazing to look at. So to celebrate this, I thought it would be interesting if I actually went back and watched some of my older videos, one of my most popular videos and the most popular video today. So we're actually going to start with the first video I ever made. Now I'm going to apologise because this is probably the worst thing I've probably made. And here we go.
Hello everyone, this is the William Red Fox and welcome
Oh, this is very quiet.
So this is the first episode of this series.
Oh, it's so weird to see things without shaders.
Now it's going to be a skyblock world that I've customly made with a 5x5.
I can't tell if the audio is worse or better.
A tree and some items just to start with.
Why is the music starting? Oh, that completely cut over the top. Also, this music must have been when I was doing the YouTube music, rather than doing Epidemic Sounds. Yeah, it ain't the best. Oh, that's interesting. I don't actually put the titles in the bottom left anymore, so that's pretty interesting that that was a thing. At least the replay isn't too bad. Could have been a little bit faster. Yeah, this whole thing could have been a hell of a lot faster. How long does it actually go on for? Okay, so something different happened there. But, oh my god, is this still the same replay? It is still the same replay. It's still going. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this just the same thing. Wow. This could have been made so much quicker. Oh, here we go. We got actual speaking parts. Here we go. Let's play it back a bit.
And with that, we've actually now got a basic tree
Wow,
farm,
the audio is definitely worse.
wheat farm.
Also, the game audio sounds really loud. I wonder if I even split the audio between the game and the microphone at this point. I probably didn't know that was a thing. Oh, that's probably why it's so loud.
Carrot, potatoes, pumpkins and melons, with an additional melon farm on the back, and a little bit of a spawning platform that's now been
And that is very loud, those zombies.
we have now achieved getting the 2 zombie villages that are in here. And now all that really is left is to build.
And if I remember correctly, I actually did this series and actually put data packs in, so that rather than focusing on the mechanics of Minecraft, I could just focus on the editing side. Clearly I needed to focus on the editing a little bit better.
Build up a mob spawner so that we can actually start farming items
That is just ridiculously loud.
as well as iron and gold, and as well as just trying to get some more melons, since as explained in the data packs, we have got a new data pack that allows us to make
Oh, at least I'd explained the data packs.
dirt by surrounding it.
What is that data pack? I was obviously just making something to make sense. That is terrible.
By melon. So hopefully we'll get that done now, and with that we should be able to finish off this episode. So without further ado, let's go back to that time lapse.
Oh great, another time lapse. Oh great, another time lapse. Oh, I've still got the labels in the bottom left as well. That's not too bad. And that's nice, a little bit of night and day. Is this just of me doing cobblestone? It is. Oh, okay. I feel like I could remake this video and it would be 10 times shorter. How long is this? So this video is about 15 minutes long and a lot of it could just be cut. Maybe that might be an idea for a video where I just remake the entirety of this, because I believe I still have all the bits and pieces, like the clips, the time lapses and the music used. Yeah, I'll probably change the music and a bit of pieces of it, but I probably could remake this series. I could definitely fix the beginning. What am I even doing in this part of the video? You can't even see what I'm doing. What is going on? Oh, still at the cobble farm. This whole entire section is just me at the cobble farm. Have I started building yet? Nope, still going. I could definitely remake this whole thing. So I've just taken a look. I can actually remake the whole entire thing. Maybe that might be worth doing, like a little movie version of it all. Have every single clip put into one video. I'd have to fix the audio completely. Could always redo the audio. I'll have to think about that. I still haven't built the mob farm that I said I was going to build. What am I playing at? I think if I remember correctly, I would have only had a stone pick at this point, so I would have had to rely on just using stone pickaxe, which isn't the fastest thing. Still, that clip didn't need to be that long. How funny, the first ever mob farm I built for this YouTube series is the same one I built in the most recent Skyblock series as well. I can just tell by the way it's being built. Now the one that I've got originally in the current series is a little bit better. Also, I never noticed before, but in the bottom left you can see the horse spawned. That's when it happened. Because I remember that being a weird thing where I never knew where it came from. At least I know that answer now. But yeah, the one in the most modern series that I do is done with warpwood because I lost the oak tree. So that's the only difference between these two farms. That, and I don't think I put any trapdoors in the actual centerpieces. I think I just left it as it was. Oh, I actually got some sheep as well.
And with that, we've now finished.
Okay, that's very loud. And you can see the old subscribe button I had at the top left. That is really bad and janky.
The first episode. We've now got.
The audio is still very loud.
We've got the mob farm all working nice and fine. We've somehow acquired a horse at some point. We got a couple of animals, some tree farms, cobblestone farm with some.
So funnily enough, this actually had a better start than the current skyblock that I had. Yeah, I used a bit of a weird data pack to actually have melons gain dirt, but yeah, it was actually alright.
Sugarcane, some basic farming.
Why does it sound like I'm talking in a cave though?
And now at this point, it's just a matter of gaining some materials to then work towards moving towards the nether. But
Also, what was that sentence? That sentence was all over the place.
until then, I'll see you in the next episode. Hello everyone, this is the William Red.
And that was it. Well, it's good to see that I still do the same outro and the same intro. Well, yeah, the videos definitely haven't got better. So, yeah, that's interesting to see. It's funny though how I still get hooked up on words like I've just said yeah in that sentence multiple times. But on to the next video. So this video is actually the most popular video on my channel. It has over, I believe, 23,000 views. So I've actually looked, it's just over 22,000 views, so that's actually doing pretty well. Now, I believe in this one there's no real talking, so I think I'm just going to play the video and yeah, we're just going to talk over the top, see what I notice and what I would do differently. Oh, but that is definitely a bit loud, so let's bring that down a bit. And I like how the old YouTube music is still being used here. Oh, I do think that's still a bit loud. Let's take that down a bit more. There we are. Yeah, this nice little fly-in was pretty good. But yeah, I would agree still that terraforming is probably the best thing you can do before you actually start a build. That way you actually know where the buildings are going to sit. And yeah, sometimes the buildings will need to be moved, so correcting them a little bit would be better to do rather than just leaving them in low the ground. That's actually a pretty good choice, because sometimes it just doesn't make sense to have certain things in the place, and just having them lay around doesn't make any sense other than in the fact that vanilla Minecraft it was there. And of course you're always going to have to upgrade the buildings, so that's even better. Now, what I may have done is when I was upgrading these buildings, rather than keeping some of them at the same level that they were originally built at, I may have made them a little bigger. Like some of them could have been having little towers on the top or just additional parts to them. Now, making a unique design for this tower was actually a great idea, for the simple fact being when you actually look at it from a distance, this is the thing that catches your eye and this is what will bring you towards the build. So having a keystone like this that looks good can actually make a difference when actually trying to see a building from a distance. I think I would have done a bit more work though on actually making the size a little bit different. Here it's a bit small, so maybe making it a little bit wider instead of having the 7 blocks, making it a bit 9 blocks, maybe even 11, and then redesigning it that way. Just feels that everything's a little bit too cramped on that one. Now, roads are definitely important, but the way that I made them in this video was solely based off the idea of a couple blocks being mixed together. You can actually make roads way better with simple path blocks or just simply using dirt and path blocks. Now, in the future, I do plan on making a texture for roads. For example, you can use world paint to make a random pattern to actually then get a little texture, and I think I'll use that in the future. So I would actually agree with adding more buildings into this, just simply because when you actually add these buildings, it makes it look so much better than just leaving the blank spaces that natural generated villages would have. Now, you would have to move a few of the buildings around, but you can easily do that if you just simply tear them down and rebuild them. This also just helps in actually planning the village. If you just use the original roads, you can just fill them up and use the space that's available. Now I do say defense in this video, but what I actually mean is keeping the villagers in one spot. They will just run off if you don't. And I never noticed before, there's actually another village in the background of that one. How strange. Yeah, I feel like I would have done the walls a little bit different. Here they're a bit flat, so I may have made the bottoms a little bit more jagged, things like that, just add a little bit of texture to them. All in all though, I feel like this is quite a solid build, and no wonder it actually has over 22,000 views on my channel. It is actually quite a nice build and can be easily done. Maybe I might actually remake this in the future. And again, I feel like the night and day ending is a staple of this channel at this point. But yeah, that was that video, and now let's move on to the next one. So lastly, we have the ranch video. Now this video actually surprisingly did quite well. It actually got released, I believe it was around August 2022, and then just simply been going ever since, and it's actually been popular on this channel for some time now. So this was actually made a part of the Foxgrove world, and as you can see, a lot of work actually went into making this part of the world. So let's get watching. So this build was actually done before I started using World Painter. Now, if I had been using World Painter, I'd have made the terrain a little bit nicer, a little bit neater, but as you can see, all I had was Light Medica and the ability to delete blocks and simply remove parts that weren't of interest. But now I definitely would have done World Painter. It looks a little bit nicer, but you get around about the same effect. So the divide of actually doing 3, 2, 1 on actually building terrain, I don't know where I actually got that from. I've actually been doing it for some time, and yeah, it works quite evenly. It works quite well in some sense. It's one of those, it's hard to determine whether it'll work or not until you've actually done it. But nowadays I feel like world paint would just be a simpler way, and you could just simply make a copy of the world, use the world paint on it, and then simply rebuild that into your actual world. You can actually use Lightmatica to show a blueprint of where that terrain change would be, and then you would simply just copy and paste over the top where you would want to put the blocks. So once you actually start building, you can actually get it done pretty quick. Now the pathways on this one, I would say, are a lot better. I think this nice clean look of just one block being the path, it just makes things look a little bit nicer and just a little bit easier to make out. This farm took forever to do. I think another thing I may have redone is the walls. I feel like they're a little bit simple. Could have added a bit of mossy blocks in there, make it look a little bit more textured, but other than that, I feel like it will be pretty much the same thing if I was to do it now. Now the buildings you're about to see here, they're actually designed for Foxgrove. Now I brought them over to here so it kind of unifies the two builds together, but I genuinely do feel like I could have redone these builds, made them more unique for the ranch, and I feel like if I ever redid it, I think that's one thing I would redo. Now all of these trees, they were placed by hand. So I placed the sapling, bone mealed it, moved on to the next tree. And as you can see, it's not only just this small section for the ranch that I did the entire forest behind it as well. So this actually took, I believe it was just for the ranch was about an hour, maybe 2. And then the forest behind took, I think, 2 or 3 days. So yeah, if I ever going to do this again, I feel like I would need to find a faster way to place trees. And again, with that night and day cycle, we come to the end of the video. I've actually quite enjoyed making this video, just being able to see some of the old builds and how things were done, as well as just seeing how the old editing was done. I definitely feel like I could remake the entirety of that Aurora Isle Skyblock series I'd made. Why I called it Aurora Isle, I have no idea. Who knows, maybe I might remake it to the same level I would do for the editing now, and see how it differs. The videos would definitely be shorter. I've taken a look and it seems that it's about 2 hours, 44 minutes and 16 seconds in regards to how long that series is. And to be honest, a lot of it is pretty much just time lapses. So I feel like we could cut down to at least probably 50, maybe even 40 minutes. Who knows, maybe that might be the next video. But until then, I'll see you in the next one.